afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good evening from wherever you are watching from. My name is Seneca. Welcome to our Afrocentric television channel 15.8 Conversations. This is the program where we tackle issues, events, and people right here in the city of Houston, Texas. And today we are excited to have a very beautiful, very intelligent, smart, and powerful woman in our studios. We're definitely going to have an interesting conversation. So, welcome, Judge Lesley Briones. How are you?
Thank you. First of all, thank you for the opportunity. I'm thrilled to be here with you and all of you, and we thank you for watching. Yes. And I look forward to the conversation.
Woo! So, you see, ladies and gentlemen, as I said, she's well-spoken, articulate, smart, intelligent, and she's also a judge here in the city of Houston for Harris County Precint 4. Am I right?
Thank you. I was, yes.
You were?
I was. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, in my mind, you're still a judge.
Thank you. Forever, forever.
Forever a judge. So, Ms. Lesley, what brings you into our studio today? I mean, a little birdie told me that you are in a runoff election, right?
I am. So I am running to be your next Harris County Commissioner for Precint 4, where we are right now.
Wow.
And this is a huge opportunity for us to flip this seat so that the new leadership of Precint 4 reflects the beautiful, rich diversity of Houston, of Harris County, and particularly of Precint 4.
Okay.
So my name's Lesley Briones, and our runoff is just days away.
Wow.
May 24th.
May 24th.
Yes, and early voting is May 16th through 20th. So we need you to please go out and vote for the Democratic runoff.
Okay. Did y'all hear that? Go out and vote for the Democratic runoff. But before we proceed, I want to ask you a couple of, interesting questions, and I know that the viewers would love to know. Why are you running for County Commissioner? Why?
So I am running for County Commissioner because I want Harris County to be a place where all of our families have a fair shot.
Okay.
Have a fair shot at succeeding, have a fair shot at getting a good job, good health care, good education. Because to me, the American dream worked for us.
Yes.
But it doesn't work for everybody. And I know when my ancestors came to this country and made the sacrifices to get us here, education was everything. And it gave me and my family the opportunity to move forward. And that's why I'm running, because I believe that Harris County needs to be that place for all of our families, and no one should be left behind.
Especially when we live in such a hugely diverse community, right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, some people will be curious that what does a county commissioner do? What are some of your duties? What are some of the things that you are responsible for?
Yes. So just to take a step back, Harris County is bigger than 26 states in the United States.
Wow.
26. So imagine Harris County divided into 4 precincts.
Wow.
So there's 4 commissioners, 1 for each precinct, and then 1 county judge, Judge Lina Hidalgo.
Whoa.
So I'm running for a 4th of Harris County. So think of it, a commissioner as the governor of a small state or the mayor of a huge city. So there's about 1.2 million people. And this Precint 4, the new 4 that now leans Democratic, is the most diverse of the 4. It's the most international of the 4. And as a proud Latina, it excites me. It excites me that we are in this precinct. But what does a commissioner do? A commissioner does everything from sidewalks in neighborhoods to working on parks in neighborhoods to helping with flooding, healthcare opportunities, working with educational institutions, helping to fund the criminal justice system, the courts and the jails. So a whole array of issues that economic opportunity, working with different industries, helping small businesses. During the pandemic, it was Harris County working with the city of Houston that helped us get the access to the vaccinations and treatment. And so ultimately, the county government should work in partnership with the city of Houston, with Katy, with Pasadena, with all the cities in our wonderful county to make sure we're delivering the results for the people who live here.
Wow, that's amazing. That's a lot. That's a lot of responsibilities. But I believe that you're very competent. You're going to be able to do all of these things and even more.
Thank you.
Okay, but let's talk about how well equipped you're gonna that you already are. I know that you are have already been a judge, which means that you know a lot already about how the city runs. But what other experiences do you have that will help you to be an effective commissioner?
I'm going to tell you a bit about my personal experience and my professional experience, because I think we bring our whole person,
Life,
our whole
yes.
self to the table wherever
Yes.
we are.
Yes.
And so to start briefly from the beginning, so I'm Latina, I'm Mexican American, born and raised on the US-Mexico border. So I was raised on the border. My parents are teachers, and so they taught us that education was everything and you should use your talents and opportunities to serve others.
Okay.
And so that's what drives me in life, is that we need to make our community better than we found it.
Okay.
And so fast forward, I had the opportunity to go study at Harvard University,
Wow.
thanks to scholarships. Where your daughter goes, you must be so proud.
I am so proud.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell her that she has a mentor already.
Yes, I can't wait to meet her. But
you.
thanks to student loans, and I worked 3 part-time jobs during college, you know, I had the opportunity to go study.
You mean you had 3 part-time jobs when you were in college in Harvard?
Yes, I did.
How did you do that?
Just working all the time, basically.
Oh my God.
To be honest, my parents couldn't send me, you know, they weren't in the position, and I wanted to go so badly, and I got loans, I got scholarships, but it wasn't enough, so I had to keep working. But I think that builds character.
It does.
So I graduated with honors, and then I moved back to the border, and I was a public school teacher. So I taught 8th grade and I taught 10th grade. And I loved being a teacher. That is one of my passions, is to work with youth. But at the same time, I saw my students in this very underserved school on the border that were having issues with the educational system, the juvenile justice system, the immigration system. All these systems were not serving my students with the justice that I thought. So I had always wanted to be a lawyer, but that made me want to be a lawyer even more. So then I went back up east. I went to Yale for law school.
Wow.
And then fast forward, I moved to Houston after law school, and I've been here for 15 years. So I was a lawyer at a firm, and then I worked at a national nonprofit as their general counsel, but also their chief operating officer. So I helped hire the team, manage the team, manage hundreds of $1 million annual budgets. We gave away $1 billion in grants, worked with nonprofits around the country, governmental entities, universities. So I did that for 8 years, loved it, because I was back closer to my public interest, social justice. And then I became a judge. I was appointed to the bench, and then I had to run to keep the bench. So thank you to all the Harris County voters that elected me to be your judge.
Yes,
I
thank you.
loved being a judge, because every day in some small way, you know, it's the people's court, right? And I got to administer justice in one small way every day, by listening, by being prepared for the case, by upholding people's rights, and trying to appoint people who reflected the diversity of our community. So I loved being a judge. That was beyond my wildest dreams, and I thought I'd be a judge forever. But fast forward, this opportunity arose, and there's again a huge chance for us to flip this seat, and we need to make that happen so that all of our families can continue moving forward, and we can keep building the Harris County of the future. So in sum, I want to take my experience from the classroom, from the courtroom, and from the boardroom to get to work as commissioner. So I believe that as a woman of color, as an educator, lawyer, judge, and as a mother. I'm a mother of 3 little girls.
Wow.
And I will be the first mother ever elected to Harris County Commissioner's Court, God willing.
Wow.
And so we need that perspective. Perspectives matter. And only the 3rd woman ever. Ever. And I'm so proud of where we are in Harris County, but it's a reminder that we need to keep breaking those ceilings.
Yes.
So I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to be with you today, and I would be grateful for your support.
Wow, Ms. Briones, your experience, I have no doubt that you are more than well equipped to be in the position that you are right now. Now, I don't think there's any person more qualified to be able to bring this conversation, pull this narrative forward the way that you are qualified. So, you know, I'm really excited, you know, that you are here and that you are running for this seat. So, aside from, you know, being commissioner, being able to be in that position, what would you really like to accomplish as commissioner when you do become commissioner?
So number one, I want the community to know their commissioner, and I want to know the community. So I am committed to having regular town halls across Precinct 4 to listen. I want to be in the community, all in, at community events, in the churches, at the schools, which we've started doing as part of our campaign, but I will be there to stay because
With
to me
1.2 million people?
yes, we'll have a big team. So as commissioner, you have a team of about 450 people.
Okay.
Which, you know, could be bigger, but that's a lot of people, and you have a vast budget. And so we are going to be very purposeful about being present because we've knocked on tens of thousands of doors, and most people, to be honest, don't know who their commissioner is, what a commissioner does, why they should care, and what has a commissioner ever done for them. And the truth is, we need to be doing more for them. So that's number one, is I will be all in with the people because I'm of the people, government is for the people.
Yes.
Number two, we have issues with public safety, and all of our families deserve to be safe. So I very much, again, want to work in the communities with proactive, community-based policing and making sure we're clearing the backlog in the courts to keep all of our families safe. And I've been, unfortunately, the victim of crime several times, and I have 3 little girls, right? All of our families must be safe, and we need to do it in a way that respects everyone's rights and upholds social and racial and criminal justice, right? So we can have both, and so I'm committed to both. Absolutely, the safety meets the upholding people's rights, so that'll be huge. Flooding. We all have our horror stories. I almost gave birth in a bathtub. I'm not even kidding here. So my 3rd baby, well, she's 4 now, was due right around Harvey. And our home was okay, thankfully, but all around us was flooded. We couldn't get to the hospital, like, at all, right? I mean, so many of us were trapped in our homes, and we would pray we had enough water, and, you know, anyway, and I was just hoping she did not come because I was like, I'm going to have this baby in the bathtub because I don't have an air mattress that's big enough to float me to the hospital or wait for a helicopter.
But
she wasn't. No. She stayed in, thankfully. But anyway, I raised that story because whether we have lost our homes, whether it was so many cases I had in my court of people whose homes were destroyed and contractors didn't deliver, or insurance company issue, like, we all have horror stories, and we deserve to be safe in our home, not only safe from crime, but safe from flooding. And there's more we can do. So there's parts of the community where, think about it, we could build detention basins, which essentially will serve as a park for the neighborhoods, help with physical health, mental health, but it'll actually create that natural absorption. So I want to focus on green solutions to flood mitigation is another area. And then the third main area, I have many areas, but the other main area is healthcare. You know, frankly, I think it's unconscionable that Texas has not expanded Medicaid. And we have a huge health crisis. And so not only do I want to work and try to continue to push the state to do the right thing, but also in Harris County, we need to be focusing on preventative health and working with our nonprofit communities. And we have the world-class medical center down the street. Everybody in Harris County needs to be able to access quality health care. There's no excuse here.
So
health care.
You mentioned Texas hasn't expanded Medicaid. In what way does expanding Medicaid really affect, you know, your precinct, the people that live in this demographic area that you're going to be covering?
Well, if it expanded, tens of thousands of people would have access to health care right away, number one. Two, even when we create this quilt work, right, you may not have access, but you show up at an emergency room or you go to a nonprofit clinic down the street, they often don't have the full resources, or it is a complete hassle, to put it nicely, to navigate the system, and doing so would immediately give tens of thousands of people access to quality health care, right? And there's no excuse because the federal government is offering it and Texas needs to accept it, right? So who you elect matters, and that's a state level issue. But at the end of the day, in our area, Precinct 4, it is one of the more underserved, especially parts of Precinct 4. And we do have a large immigrant community. And we're navigating so many systems when we're new to this country. Anyway, I could go on and on. But to me, at the end of the day, what moves me is fairness and justice. And it is unjust when we live in one of the richest countries in the world, and there's some that have so much and some that have so little. And to me, we all need access to quality healthcare, quality education, quality jobs.
So, you know, these 3 areas that you mentioned are really crucial, especially in the city of Houston and especially in our, Harris County Precinct 4. And I know, because I live in your precinct, I know that there's it's broad. The demographic between the communities that are represented in your precinct is really broad, So from River Oaks down to almost Katy, I believe.
Correct.
Southwest, A-Leaf, some part of HIZ is in your precinct, right?
Goes all the way up to Tomball.
Up to Tomball, So it's as if your precinct has like a representation of all the demographics possible that are existing here in the city of Houston. And so there are very many areas where you have a whole bunch of facilities and amenities, and then there's some other areas that have less and almost nothing. So how do you intend to bridge that gap?
Okay. I intend on serving everybody. Those who vote for me, those who do not. But where my focus will lie is on the areas that have been underserved.
Okay.
To me, we need to balance. So for example, there's areas of our community that do not have access to a park. That do not have sidewalks for kids to walk to school safely, right? And River Oaks does, with all due respect to River Oaks, does not need another park or sidewalk at the moment. We need to be in the heart of Gulfton, in the heart of A-Leaf, making sure, to me, and for instance, flooding, when funds have been distributed historically in the past, it's where was the monetary loss the worst? Well, that to me isn't the most equitable way to distribute funds. So I would like a worst first approach, a social vulnerability index approach whereby the neighborhoods that have been most affected and who have had the least amount of investment get the prioritization. So I want to have that kind of equity lens at the forefront of everything we do. Because at the end of the day, to me, it's about balancing playing fields and balancing opportunity.
That balance is really important. So, I mean, how can people get to know more about you and about your office? Especially when you do become commissioner, will you be accessible? Will you be reachable? What are the ways that people can connect with you better?
Absolutely. So for right now, if you want to connect with us, you can go to our website, lesleybriones.com, and that's LESLEY. BRIONES.com. You can send us messages, you can call us, you can request a yard sign, you can volunteer. We are making calls, texting, and knocking on doors every single day. We invite you to join our team. We would love for you to join our team. I'm there with my sleeves rolled up every day, so we can spend a lot of time together knocking on doors together if you'd like. But no, really, right now, that's the best way. Get involved with our campaign, become a part of our team, and help us build this Harris County of the future. We have to flip this seat. Once we are elected, the way you can get involved, I will make sure every single person I hire on my team is committed to the people, because that's what it's about. We are going to be responsive. Constituent services will be number one in every single thing we do. So for example, if you have a ditch that is not being maintained and water is rising,
or a pothole,
you will be able to call, and you will have a response in X amount of time. Like, I want everything to be clear, because I don't know about you, but it's hassle when there's so many websites, so many numbers. Who are you supposed to call for what and when? And they send you around. Oh no, this is. People don't have time for that, right? We're trying to feed our families. And so I want to make sure that everyone I hire has this can-do, we're here to serve, let's get things done, people deserve results, and we're going to try to be as clear as possible on our website, how to contact us, how we can help. We want to, again, be in the community, so we would love to be invited to your church, to your mosque, to your school, to your
events.
Exactly. Invite me. And invite me now, I will go. But I want to be in the senior centers, right? And again, working with the youth is my passion. I'm all in. And anyone who knows me will tell you I'm all in. Probably all in to a fault, but everything you get, this is who I am all day, every day, right?
So I'm definitely going to make a mental note. I'm going to invite you to next year's Offshore Technical Conference Forum for African Women in Leadership, because it happens right here in Houston, in our community.
I would love to go.
All right.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm convinced that you're going to do everything that you're saying that you are going to do. But there's still a question of how people will respond. I believe that talking to you, I already see the reason why we in our community need to be more involved in the local elections. You are definitely a product of of that. So we need more of our community to ensure that we appreciate the importance of being involved in the local elections. But what can you tell the people? What can you say to them that'll make them understand that it is, it's very important, it's crucial that they be involved in local elections?
It could not be more critical. Your local and county elections will impact your life more. And this is not just me as someone running. This is the absolute truth. If you're going to adopt a child, if you're going to get divorced, if you have a car accident and you have a lawsuit because your back is injured, if, God forbid, you are the victim of a crime, all of those, you are unfortunately more likely to see one of your judges, civil or criminal court judges, for a variety of matters, than you ever are to see the president or your senator, right? Your city council person, if you have a pothole that is ruining your tires and when you want to get to work, or the light on your street isn't working, or in my case, for example, in my neighborhood, a couple of people had been killed because people were speeding down, treating a street like a highway, and we needed a light. Oh my goodness. It was a challenge, and we're still waiting on it.
Really?
But that is what matters. Like, when you want your kids to cross the street safely, you need to care. You need to be able to reach out to your city council person, to your county commissioner, to say, this is the problem, I need it fixed. And the truth is, governments are huge. Everyone has something they want or need. And so the responses don't always come as fast. But I will be committed to trying to do everything possible to improve that, because at the end of the day, I expect results. I know you expect, we all respect results. So ultimately, your justice of the peace who might marry your cousin,
right,
your city council person, your mayor, you are more likely to meet them and to be affected every day because of their decisions. So we need leaders who actually want to serve the people. And I've been energized running because there are a lot of true public servants here in Houston and Harris County who are doing it because they believe in service and not because of ego or power or whatever else motivates people. And that has renewed my faith. And every door...
renewed my faith too.
It really has. I mean, every door I knock, and sometimes I'm Mexican, right? They'll be like, "Para qué?" "Para qué" means why, right? For what, right? "Para qué?" For what? I'm like, this is why. Because if you want to be the change, if you want to make change, if you want to improve the lives of your family, it actually matters who your leaders are.
Right.
And I've had friends who have lost their elections for city council, for judge, for other positions by 9 votes.
Wow.
13 votes. A friend running for school board by 74 votes. So when people, also another thing is, oh, what does my vote matter? Those other people will vote, right? I don't want to lose by 9 votes. I don't. So please, 9 of you, 90 of you, 900 of you, I actually need. We can't wait on our neighbor to be the change. We are the change, every single one of us. And so that is why it matters. And I just get so fired up about it because it does. And so when I was a teacher, like I told you, a high school teacher, I would tell my students, so what we need to do as parents and as teachers and as leaders in our churches, our elders, is we need to make sure that every person we know who is 17 years old and 10 months is registered to vote. Because I think I take my kids to vote every single time since they were a baby, because I want it to be like a family tradition, right? You have to vote. It is what we do. And I wish, this is now blue skying it, right? Because county commissioner cannot do this. But one day, I think the federal government needs to make election day a federal holiday, right? Like, we all need to vote.
Is that something that can happen in your tenure? Can you push this
when we can do
commissioner?
I mean, the truth is, this is the lawyer in me. The truth is we don't have legal authority, but the federal government can. But what we can do in Harris County is proclaim, we hope that businesses, we can do like words, but in terms of legal authority, federal government. But in any event, the point is that I think of my family. Why did they come to this country, right? They believed in opportunity. They believed in the democracy, right? And we are the democracy. So if we don't vote, what's going to happen to our democracy? It's going to be left in the hands of people on the fringes. So I get fired up about this, but it matters. It really, really matters.
It does. So, ladies and gentlemen, what Ms. Lesley Briones is telling us is that the responsibility for positive change in public service, in the local government, is not just for the commissioners or the judges or the mayor. We, the people, are also responsible for what happens in government. So listen to Ms. Lesley Briones and get out there and vote. Call your county commissioner, talk to public servants, let them know how you feel, email them, pick up the phone and call them. Don't just watch, don't just say, okay, my vote don't count. That's the message that I believe that you have just given in your last explanation. But anyway, because of what you've been saying, I'm wondering, so now are you Democratic, Republican, or Independent?
I am a Democrat. I am a proud, lifelong Democrat.
Oh.
And I'm in the Democratic runoff May 24th. So everyone who's voting in the Democratic runoff May 24th, I need your vote. But even if you're not a Democrat, in November, I'm asking for your vote. Because the truth is, I actually think more unites us than divides us. When your house floods, when a family member is sick, when you want your kid to have a good education, I don't think that's a blue or red issue, right? It's a family issue. It is a people issue. And I know when there's a pothole, it's not going to matter to me if someone voted R or D. You fix it, right? It's a pothole. It is a flood. It is results that people. And so I will always connect myself. So I was a judge, as I mentioned. I wore a black robe. I didn't wear a blue robe or a red robe. I listened to cases fairly and impartially, heard the facts from both sides, kept an open mind, and then made a decision based on the evidence, right? So I'm a fair, open-minded person who wants to serve everybody, and I will do it always with an eye towards equality and fairness, and that's why I'm a proud Democrat. But at the end of the day, it's about everybody. It really is about everybody, and I'm so tired of things being polarized. It really is about, we need to come together, we need to unite, and we need to move forward, not backwards.
Thank you so much. So how can people learn about voting? Do you have information on how people can learn more about voting for you?
Absolutely. Well, first, voting big picture, harrisvotes.com. So please visit harrisvotes.com. And there's also a phone number there, and there's very helpful information about how to register, where to vote, what times, the dates. And then for me, if you would like more information, please visit lesleybriones.com.
How do you spell that?
That's LesleyBriones. And we have
Lesley page translated into multiple languages. If you would like your language featured, we're always looking for volunteer translators. I would love it, because again, we want to serve everybody, and this is about building a broad coalition where all of our families can move forward. So lesleybriones.com, and you can join our team. As I said, we are out in the community, and we want people to feel energized and feel that this is it's not me on the ballot. We are on the ballot. Our families are on the ballot.
I've met some members of your team, and I really appreciate the work that they're doing. She has a very diverse team. It's not all Latina, it's not all Caucasian, it's not all African American, it's not all African. And there's representation for each of us in her team that I've met them. So so ladies and gentlemen, we are I'm so happy that you've been here and talked about what you want to do as county commissioner to the people. So last question before we wrap this up, is there anything else that you would like to say to our viewers, about the elections, about being county commissioner?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you again for the opportunity. I will remember today always. So thank you. I'm grateful. Very grateful. And the last message I have is that elections matter. They really impact your day-to-day life. The schools we have for our children, the access to medical care, what we can and cannot do, it all matters. Who is in office matters. And democracy is us. It is we the people. We are the change. And I believe we're all called to serve. in whatever way it is, in our homes, in our workplaces, in our places of worship, in our neighborhoods. We are all called to serve to make our community better. And I would love for this city and county to be a model for the country, and frankly a model for the world, about how people can come together and be stronger together and take everything to the next level. So I would be grateful for your support. I would be grateful for your vote. May 24th is the runoff election. Early voting is May 16th through the 20th. I'd be grateful for your vote, because together I know that we can build this Harris County of the future, and the Harris County where all of our families have a fair shot. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you all for joining us.
Thank you so much.
I'm deeply grateful.
Well, viewers, this is Miss Lesley Briones running for Harris County Precint 4 County Commissioner. And next time you see her on our station, she's probably going to be wearing an African outfit.
I would love that.
I'll make sure I give her one. So, thank you so much for coming with us. Ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of our show. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for the next episode. And good night, right? And God bless.